Good evening, or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Bill Crane Report, the Sports Report, with my friend Gary Patterson. And we have got a lot of things to talk about, so no nonsense. Okay. We're going to dig right into it.
Huh? Okay.
By the way, this is not an apple pie order.
Okay, good. We'll hit them randomly.
The Celtics.
Yeah.
What is up with those guys?
They've been a fun team to watch, huh?
15 in a row.
Yeah, playing tonight as we tape. I think they're going to win tonight, too. They're playing Dallas, who stinks. Yeah.
I have got to tell you this. I heard this on BZ.
Okay.
When asked, they were interviewing Brad Stevens. When asked what was the magic he's using for the 15-game win streak, Brad Stevens came up with this pip. It's a lot of factors, but the key is to play well.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. That's coach speak for you.
Bill Belichick would have been proud of him.
He would have,
for that.
yeah.
Good Lord.
But they're playing really well, and you know what I think is so impressive is the defense. The defense, for a team that was just put together 2 months ago, the defense has been extraordinary. And we thought they were, when you think about it, we thought they were a good defensive team last year, and they were okay. They were pretty good because they had Jay Crowder, who was a good defender, and they had Avery Bradley, and they went away. But Isaiah was a chink in that armor last year, and it really got put on display in the playoffs, right? So Kyrie came in, and he's involved defensively.
And they're bigs when they brought him in, Zeller, and they were not strong defensively. They had some offensive moves and put a few buckets in, but they are, I think...
They look good.
Believe it or not, I think they're deeper.
Yeah, I think they are too.
And I'll tell you what, I like this Morris.
Yeah.
Tough boy.
He's a tough kid, yeah. That was a good acquisition.
Boy, it was.
Yeah.
I don't know what his hit is, but...
And he looks like a good team player, too.
Do they have him for a couple of years? Or is this his...
Well, he and his brother, there's two of them, right? They're identical twins. And I mean identical.
Yeah.
They even have the same tattoos. They do.
God help us.
You could literally have them switch uniforms, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference because they got all the same tattoos.
Well, I'll tell you.
But they were both first-round picks, I think 2 picks apart, maybe 4 years ago in the draft.
I'll tell you, I really think this Celtics bunch, and to say they're playing great D, and they're kids.
Yeah. And you know what? I know they say no, and I get that they say no. But I think that Gordon Hayward's going to come back. I think he's going to be back in April. And he's going to come back off the bench a little bit. He's going to be in the last 10 games, and he's going to be part of the mix in the playoffs.
A little surprise for April Fool's Day.
They've got that exception. They haven't used the exception. They've stayed away from making, there's people being offered to them.
Yeah.
That might be able to help them a little bit, but they're holding that off. And
that's a wise move.
And so I think he's going to be back this year.
Boy, oh boy.
And it probably won't be till baseball season.
There was nothing complicated about that injury.
Right.
It was as good as it could be for that kind of a serious injury.
Yeah.
So who knows? The other thing, let me skip back. Let me go to the Bruins.
Okay, yeah.
A ragtag bunch.
Kind of, yeah. I watched the San Jose game the other night. They won.
Yeah, but it wasn't a fun game to watch.
No, it wasn't.
This refereeing now. I mean, if you tap the guy with the stick, that's slashing, If you touch him with your stick, that's hooking. And
and the matching embellishment penalties,
Thank
a
God
little
they
bit much
cleared up
sometimes.
that crap about the instant replay on the offsides.
Yeah.
But it just, and the goalies just keep getting bigger and bigger and wider and wider. There's nothing to shoot at on the net.
Yeah. You know, would you be a proponent of making the net bigger?
Yeah. Or either that, or they've got to cut down on the size of the goalies' pads. You take a look at some of the old pictures of Jerry Cheevers or Eddie Johnston back in the 60s. I mean, they're half the size of these goaltenders.
Right.
You know? Yeah, I would be a proponent of something along those
Yeah.
lines. And I'd also be a proponent of getting rid of the damn shootout. I think a tie is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a good result. You each get a point.
Yeah. I love the 3-on-3 overtime, though.
That is fun.
I love that.
And you know what? Just make that the standard overtime.
Yeah.
3-on-3.
Yeah.
I think it would clear a lot of things up. And if you still had a tie at the end of 5
you know-
minutes, so be it.
Yeah. Or you say you play up to 10 because 3-on-3, they're going to score. Somebody's going to score.
Somebody's going to. Yeah.
Right?
And that's a good point, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Red Sox trade chatter.
Yeah, it's heating up.
I've got Jason Mastrodonato is a kid that writes for the Herald.
I'm familiar with him,
Yeah. And I'm not sure whether he lives in his mother's cellar and dreams this stuff up or what, but I got to tell you, I circled 3 or 4 of his things here that he's proposing. This is great. Tell me about this one. Trade Jackie Bradley Jr., right-handed pitcher Stephen Wright, and third baseman Michael Chavis to the Miami Marlins for Giancarlo Stanton and cash.
Yeah, that sounds like a fantasy if I ever heard one.
Yeah, we'll give you 3 spare tires and a
for your Maserati
battery, and you give us and cash.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
there's talk that the Marlins may be willing to pay up to $5 million a year on the salary.
That's he throws that in. Yeah. But they've got to get something. Stephen Wright, you got no idea. He's had a year out of the game.
Yeah.
In fact, more than a year, actually. And Michael Chavis,
I guess he's a good prospect.
He's a good prospect, but he was in A-ball last year.
Right.
So we'll get 2-3 years before he's up.
Right.
Even the way they jump him. And Jackie Bradley Jr. is a world-class center fielder.
Right.
Who is a hot and cold hitter.
So let me tell you. So the talk is that they're not going to get as much for him because of the contract, right? And we're a year away from next year's free agency class, which is going to have Bryce Harper and people like that. So, you know, this guy is around $30 million a year, plus or minus.
Yep.
Right? Those guys next year, whether it's Bryce Harper or Machado's another one, and there's a couple more that's escape me at the moment. They're going to make $30 million a year. So if the Marlins were really willing to cover $5 million a year, so you could get this guy at $25 million a year and lock him up, wouldn't you be interested in that?
Yes. You know,
because by next year it's not going to be an outrageous overmarket. It's going to be a market contract.
If you're the Red Sox, they're not the least bit scared of $30 million a year.
Right.
What they're concerned about is that opt-out in the 3rd year.
Right.
Now, you go trade a whole bunch of prospects and then see Stanton walk.
After 3 years. Right.
Or have come, knock that left fielder wall down and have him say, yeah, well, I want $40 million now and I'll stay in Boston. Yeah.
Could happen.
I mean, that's a heck of a chance to take, I think.
Right. So now you're talking about a 3-year window. So with the moves that you've made, if you're Dave Dombrowski and you've cleaned out your farm system, trading for sale, et cetera, you've got the pieces. You've still got the killer bees for a couple more years until you start having to deal with them maybe leaving.
Yep.
because Scott Boras is got at least two of them.
Yeah, he's got Bogarts and Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah. So if you're going to go for it, next 3 years.
And by the way,
if you win a World Series, it's worth it, right?
You're right. Yeah.
Right.
Now, J.D. Martinez is a much chatted about guy.
Yeah.
And Boris said he's a $200 million man.
Right.
Based on what?
Right. Right. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Right? Time will tell. The market will tell.
Yeah, the market will tell.
I don't think they're going to be huge. I think there are teams like the Yankees who are waiting till next year. Right? I think the Yankees are looking at it saying, we got a young team growing up. Next offseason, we're going to sign Bryce Harper.
Do you know, that teams have watched other teams rebuilding, and there's a lot of success being done by picking the low-hanging fruit.
Right.
I think that...
I don't think these guys are necessarily going to get the...
No, I don't think they're going to get
there.
Well, look at Encarnacion last year.
Right.
I mean, he settled for a boot in the keister is what he got.
Less than he was,
Yeah. I mean, he could have...
So, J.D. Martinez,
Look, he's 29.
Yeah.
And
he's a good player. He's an all-star caliber player.
Right. But also, he only had 285 at-bats or something like that last year. So
what are you talking? He wants 8 years at $25 million? Really?
Well, Boris, that's what Boris wants.
8 years, $25 million. I mean...
Give me a break.
Talk about the potential to end up being an anchor contract.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go anywhere near it. So that goes back to, if you can get a guy who, as long as he's healthy, is really an elite player. Mm-hmm. And Stanton, I mean, a 50 home run guy. John Henry sitting there for the next 10 years having Stanton for the Red Sox, Judge for the Yankees. Going head to head for the home run title every year in the league. How good would that be for the Red Sox Yankees rivalry?
It would be something, let me tell you.
Which is the name of the game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Fill them seats up. And let's have some real fever pitch, and then we'll both raise ticket prices.
Right. So I still say if it's the Marlins, and they look at the Red Sox, what do they want? Do they want Jackie Bradley? No, I think they want Benintendi. Because he's got 1 year, it's 2 years before you even have to let him go to arbitration for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You literally have this kid for the next 5 years. They're looking to lower payroll. The fans are going to sit there and look out opening day, and Stanton's going to be gone. You got to have somebody there to replace him. You got Benintendi down there with the hair flowing down in Miami. It looks like he just walked off the set of Miami Vice.
But if I were Miami, I would be asking for Rafael Devers first.
Yeah, perhaps.
He is Spanish.
Right.
And Jeepers Creepers, what's down there in southern Florida?
Yeah, it'd be good for the fan base. But,
that's right.
But if you're the Red Sox and you get Stanton, he's an outfielder.
Yeah.
So
or a DH, one or t'other.
Yeah, I think he's your left fielder. Right. And I think he's a good outfielder. He's a good defensive player.
He's all right. Yeah. And if you keep Benintendi, you can move him into center field.
Right.
And then trade Jackie Bradley Jr. off to who knows where, because
So you make Benintendi the centerpiece, assuming they're going to pay $5 million a year on that salary. So we're on the hook for $25 a year.
Yeah.
By next year, $25 a year, by the time Harper and Machado and all those guys sign next year, $25 million a year for Stanton's going to look like a bargain. To your earlier point that he could very likely opt out.
Yeah.
In 3 years. But for those 3 years, you're positioned now to go for it.
Yeah. But for him to want to opt out of it, I think these guys are going to have to sign in the 30s.
Yeah.
Well.
Plus he's got to have some place to go.
Plus he's got to stay healthy.
Plus he's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Which is a question mark with this guy.
There's a bunch of bunch of ifs, ands, and buts about that.
Yeah. Plus, the way he hits, I think the wall is going to hurt him.
I think so too.
He hits these rising line drives.
Yep. Get a bunch of doubles.
That they're still going to be on the rise when they hit halfway up the wall.
Sign Eric Hosmer. Just walk out and he'll sign, The Sox would find a leader, a World Series winner who is regarded as a clubhouse glue stick, whatever that is.
Yeah.
One former coach of Hosmer described him as the kind of guy you want your daughter to marry.
That's an endorsement.
MLB trade rumors, and this is a bunch of guys that live in their mother's cellars too, project 6 years, $132 million for Boris's client. So
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
He's a good player. He's a good team guy.
He's a good player.
But he's not a great player. He's a good player.
But he's good defensively.
Very good. Multiple Gold Gloves. I'd love to have Eric Hosmer on the team.
I would too.
But I don't think he's the answer. If there's another bat and Hosmer, now we're talking.
Yeah. I agree, because you got Hosmer light.
Yeah.
Mitch Moreland.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the only difference between the two is Hosmer hit 318 and Moreland hit 242.
Yeah.
Other than that, their home runs and RBIs are the same, and they're both good defensively.
Yeah.
So
it balanced the price, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's been silence on Moreland, so.
Yeah, but he only got $5 to $6 million last year.
But there's been silence on everybody, right? I mean, has free agency officially started?
I think it starts today. So.
You
got the 5
very
days.
slow out of the gate now. Remember at the beginning of free agency, day one?
Oh, man. You'd get the paper and there'd be a list of guys that signed.
This guy signed here, this guy signed here.
Yeah.
It was, off at midnight. And
off and running.
It's not like that anymore.
No, it's not.
It's a long, drawn-out process.
I think, too, they're afraid of losing some amateur draft choices because of tampering, getting in there early.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot more caution.
Plus, the qualifying offer is a big deal.
It is a big deal. 17.4 this year.
Yeah.
I think. Or was that last year? But it's that neighborhood. How about this Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese kid that's a pitcher and an outfielder?
Yeah. I don't know. I know nothing about him.
Essentially, I know nothing about him either, except there was a piece on 60 Minutes about him.
Oh, really?
He's a cult hero over there.
Yeah, I know he's very well thought of as a prospect.
Yep.
So
what do you think?
All it takes is money. Yeah.
I can't see a major league team allowing him to play two positions. If he's a pitcher, and let's just say, for argument's sake, he's lights out, you're not going to let him play in the field and get hurt.
No. You just have yourself a good batting pitcher.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
We'll see what happens. I mean, the Red Sox, I was reading something, or I heard something a couple weeks ago about how the Red Sox are well thought of in Japan because they've had a number of Japanese players.
Indeed.
The Japanese players speak well of their time here.
Yeah.
That they like the city.
It's a cosmopolitan city,
right.
So it's not a redneck city.
Right. And one of them, I forget who it was. Oh, I think it was Matsuzaka, who has moved on. His family's still here. His kids are in school.
Oh, really?
I think they live in Brookline. He moved on from the Red Sox, but his family's staying here because they like it here.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting family arrangement.
Yeah. So, but it could give them an inner, an inside track to this kid. If then all you're talking about is money, then hey, we got money.
We got money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting, but you're right, though. We are well thought of as a city.
Yeah.
So the other thing, too, that kind of jumped out at me, it's still talking about signing Eduardo Nunez.
Yeah, that,
I mean, that makes
what's the price?
bloody much sense.
Yeah.
I can't believe this kid wrote it up as, oh, you know what? Here's an idea, too. Sign Eduardo Nunez. If the Red Sox don't have him on the radar, they're idiots.
What if he tells you he wants 4 years, $40 million?
Good luck.
Right. Right. So what if he tells you he wants, 3 years, $24 million?
Sign right there, son.
Yeah. So it'll come down to price. I think they'd like to have him back, right?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? He's a good player.
And he was
fit in well here.
Good in the apparently good with his teammates.
And when you talk about Rafael Devers, he seemed to particularly bond with Rafael Devers.
And there's a big thing about
a mentor.
You certainly want somebody to take that lad by the hand.
Those guys were always sitting together on the bench.
Yeah.
Talking.
So I think that.
So I think they'd like to have him back. So it's a question of, is somebody else going to knock his door down with an offer?
What's interesting is that Dumbo said, we're not going to sign a starting pitcher. Now, if somebody comes along and knocks his door off, well,
Yeah.
That's just not on his radar. I think that's interesting.
Well, right. But what does that mean? I mean, he has a couple of guys here, right? The guy he brought in the middle of the year who did well.
Yeah, Fister.
Fister.
Yeah. And he's also got the kid from the Mexican League.
But you have to sign Fister, don't you?
That's right, yeah.
Right, so he's a free agent?
Yeah. I don't think that would be mission
but my
impossible.
point is, I think that's what they're talking about. They're going to sign a pitcher, but they're going to sign like a fourth or fifth starter type.
And Stephen Wright was an all-star before he got hurt.
Right. So he'll be back in the mix. They got to do. I think they need to address the bullpen, though.
I think so too. Well, they got to address first base.
Yeah.
Second base. To me, I would be really concerned about the future because who knows how Petey's going to hold up.
Well, Nunez is the question there.
That's right.
If we can get Nunez, then you've got it.
Bogarts, he's got to get out of his funk.
Yeah.
Third base, well,
supposedly Bogarts and Farrell never really saw eye to eye.
Eye to eye.
They quietly kept apart from each other. So maybe Cora will help. Because Bogarts, to me, was a big disappointment last year.
Oh, huge.
The last year and a half, really. He's just become a slap hitter.
Yep.
I thought by now Bogarts would be hitting, 310 with 27 homers and 35 doubles. And instead he's a little punch and Judy hitter.
A little punch and Judy. One-handed swings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me.
And not a middle-of-the-order guy.
So you got first base, second base, shortstop's got a question mark, and you got to add a power hitter.
Right.
Where are you going to put him?
So it's either first base or, in the case of Stanton, the outfield.
You know what I think is interesting? Is Dombrowski came out and said, we like Marco Hernandez for second base, and we like Bryce Brentz in left field. Well, Brent's had a wonderful year last year. I think he hit 33 home runs. He's good defensively. And I love Marco Hernandez, always have. He's hit 284 lifetime in the majors.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the greatest second baseman defensively in the world, but he's got a good arm.
So, the question there is Brock Holt on your team next year?
I hope not.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if what his contract situation is.
Well, I think I think they can move him. I think they're going to let him float. I think. But he's not getting paid so much that they have to, they can't release him.
Chris Young is gone.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, there's the utility infield position is big, right? If you could bring back Nunez, you probably still need a player because you're not Pedroia's going to be down for
Marco Hernandez, yeah.
So it's one of those guys. If Hernandez is that guy, great.
Yep.
And you let Holt go.
Yeah.
And then you need a reserve outfielder. So.
And if Brentz can do the job.
Yeah.
All right. Certainly, maybe he is not going to kill left-handed hitting the way Young was supposed to have killed it.
Yeah.
But he's got some power.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll see
So
how.
you can find a fourth outfielder,
I think so.
right?
I really, truly.
to me, the whole thing is Stanton.
Yeah.
Do you want, because if you're not gonna go Stanton, then how are you gonna bring in some power?
Well,
And
Yep.
if you're gonna go free agency, in my mind, you're overpaying. You're gonna get J.D. Martinez, nice player. He might give you a good year, but is he really that impact guy? There's no impact guy like Stanton. Stanton
I'd rather go
is the
for
impact
Hosmer.
guy.
I'd much rather go for Hosmer.
I'd rather go for Hosmer too, but I
Yeah.
don't know if Hosmer's really that impact guy.
Well, I don't think he is,
You know.
but I think he is another piece, and I think
Getting
that,
Stanton would set this town on fire.
yeah, it would. And trading, if we're going to trade, let's try trading for Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, you could.
Boy, I mean, look, they don't
He'd
have
be
a
perfect.
big budget out there.
That's true.
Oh, and put him
true.
at third
Yeah.
base and say, first base.
First
He
base.
plays both places. Yeah.
Right.
Man, would that be
Well,
something?
Goldschmidt, yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's pretty close in my mind.
Yeah. I mean,
Probably cheaper.
yeah. Oh,
Even if
definitely
you'd-
cheaper.
you'd have to
He's
re-sign
tied
him.
up for like 3 or 4 more years.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, he signed one of those Bozo contracts
Well,
when he was a kid.
then
I mean,
Why is
lots of
Arizona-
years.
Why would
and-
Arizona move him then if they've got him signed?
Well, that's the thing. You'd have to knock their socks off with some young players
Yeah.
that really are good prospects. I'm not sure we got them.
I don't know if we got him either.
No.
Right.
Would you trade Divas?
Potentially.
I would.
I mean,
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah, I'd trade Divas and another kid, maybe get a Groom or something like that. Maybe that would open their eyes. I don't
Yeah.
know. But that would.
I would think it would take a lot to get him out of there.
Yeah, it would. An awful lot. Boy, I'll tell you.
If
I'm
he
getting
was-
this.
if they only had him signed for one more year or something, you'd say, okay, they know they're not going to be able to re-sign him.
That's it.
But the
they
Sox need to rebuild their farm system.
They do.
Right?
They
So-
do. And constantly trading them away is not rebuilding it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think of the Patriots yesterday?
Outstanding. Went down to Mexico City and kicked butt.
Man,
Yeah, they're really rounding into shape. It's almost predictable.
you know, what did we say at the beginning of the year? An awful lot of moving parts here.
Right.
Boy, this hasn't gelled together.
Right.
And now, guess what happened?
Right.
Well, the witch's brew has been stirred, and guess what? It's ready for eating now.
But it's amazing, right? I mean, you got Van Noy, who's in his second year, who's now like the lead linebacker. He's got the dot on his helmet and all that stuff, right? They're playing these other guys, Cassius Marsh, right, who was like a 6th round pick or something. And they're just plugging these pieces in and making it work. It's just
David
mind-boggling.
Harris.
David Harris finally
Yeah.
on the field making plays.
Landon
Right.
Roberts.
Yeah.
When they put him in run situations.
Really good.
Yeah, he's all
really
right,
good
you know.
against the run.
But I thought, I love Kyle Van Noy. Mm-hmm. By the way, there was a story on the internet that the scouts watching him way back in college, and that they had him pegged in the 2nd round and they missed him.
Oh, really?
And they've kept following him. And the scout, kept telling Belichick, we got to keep our eye on this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when the day came, they got him.
That's the way they do it down there. They evaluate people on
Yeah,
how they fit, how they think they'll fit into their system.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Doesn't have to be today. Let's
Right.
look at it for tomorrow. But I thought Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. Explosive. That's the explosive guy we've been waiting to see.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gronk.
Yeah.
Now,
Gronk only had 3 catches, but they were big.
Looks like they gave him the second half off.
Yeah.
'Cause he didn't do a whole heck of a lot.
That 3rd and 11 conversion, though, down inside the red zone, that was a nice play.
He keeping him healthy.
Huge.
Oh, huge is right. And the offensive line.
Yeah.
Oh, so David Andrews can't play. Okay, well, we'll take another kid.
Who's never played center.
Unplug him
Never
and
played
plug him
center.
in there. Yeah.
And I remember one low shotgun, which, wasn't that low. Brady just had to go down and get it.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was perfect. Plug and play.
The day preview of the game, this guy says, I'm going to give you the 5 things the Patriots have got to do, or whatever. Look out for that Mack truck. Khalil Mack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got the Brady ones.
Shoulder the load. Tight end Martellus Bennett has got to really step up along with Dwayne Allen. They had no bearing on the game.
Not really. They had a couple catches between them.
3, Back to the Future. They're talking about the surging Dion Lewis.
Yeah. He looks good. He looks good.
But Rex Burkhead, Dion Lewis, they're the running attack. James White.
Burkhead coughed it up yesterday, right? They kept it, but he coughed it up.
Yeah,
obviously
didn't go over well.
Yeah.
But White looked like his role has diminished.
Well, they game plan every game, right? So he could come back and catch 12 balls next week.
And number 4, the Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree are constantly productive. They'll be a challenge for the Patriots.
They shut him down.
Yep. And number 5, the altitude is a factor to consider. No real effect on either team. The balls were punted further or kicked further.
Yeah.
And a few guys ran out of gas.
Yeah.
But it happened on both sides.
Yeah, it did.
So I made my own 5 factors.
Okay.
Keep Brady upright and Gronk healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, did both of them.
Great. Yep.
After a rocky start, the Pats have gained momentum. It is important for this to continue. Even though Oakland is a mess, don't take them lightly. Involve Gronk in the game plan, but keep him healthy. Try to keep the ground game on the improve. The cold weather and rain and snow are coming.
Yes.
I like my 5 better than his.
Yeah. No, it was really good. The team is just getting a lot better. The defense still gives up some yards, but they clamp it down. They had that big turnover punching that ball out.
Wasn't that something?
Line. Yeah, that was a nice play.
You sat there and you watched the game, and all you kept saying is, now what are the Patriots going to do now to stymie them? Oh, punch the ball out.
Yeah. Well, I thought Oakland, didn't show well. They stunk.
They did.
Yeah.
I thought that
Khalil Mack, other than that low hit on Brady, he really wasn't a factor in the game.
Nope. And I agree with the announcers. He didn't try to do anything dirty.
And that was
he was just in there.
No,
on
I
his
agree.
belly.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And that was Waddle out there blocking him all day.
And Waddle, by the way, has answered the bell.
He certainly has.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Give him a chance and.
And Fleming got in too in that
Fleming
game.
got
He was
in.
playing left tackle for a number of plays.
And Tooney and Karras in the middle playing center.
Yeah.
It just doesn't get any better than that.
Right.
Dante Scanecchia.
He's an offensive line genius.
Magic.
Yeah.
So they were talking yesterday. Is it possible Mexico City fields a team for the NFL?
It's possible. I think it's down the road, though.
Yep. But I think they're going to do it because they can fill that place up.
Yeah. They love football down there, apparently.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
And you got a city of 21 million.
In the metropolitan area. 21 million. You think in New York City, where my daughter lives in, it's chaos when we go down there.
Yeah.
6 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? 21 million.
Well, so that got me to thinking, how do you possibly do this? So I thought the best way to do it would probably be to bring in 4 teams at once. And I'm going to add Mexico City.
Add 4 teams to the league?
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, listen to this. plan I have. Add Mexico City, Toronto, San Antonio, and Tallahassee.
Tallahassee?
Florida is football.
Florida is football
state.
country.
Yep. And then 3 years later, add Montreal, Omaha, Birmingham, and a second team in Chicago, or Louisville, or Little Rock.
Wow, that's saturation, Bill. What do you want to add 8 teams to the
Yep.
league? You'll have 40 teams in
Yep.
the league?
Yep.
40 teams?
Yep.
Wow.
Gonna make
Yeah.
money. Gotta make money.
Yeah. Dilute the talent, you know?
Yeah. I
They're
know.
already facing,
But
they're already going to face a talent dilution level
yeah.
long term with this whole.
I think
concussion
you
thing.
can't bring Mexico City in without a second team.
Yeah, at least a second team.
Yeah.
You're right.
To
I think
make
you have
the
to add
computer
a
balance.
second team.
The schedule, yeah. And I think Toronto would be marvelous for a pro football game up there.
Yeah.
Or Montreal.
It's awfully close to
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Well, yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But
And there's talk of London, perhaps.
yeah, yeah. I think that that's. I forgot about London. I might have to redo my teams.
Yeah. London and Mexico City.
Terry Glenn passed away.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Died in a car crash, I guess.
Yeah.
They're not telling much
Yeah, I
about
haven't
what went
heard.
on.
Hopefully nothing bad.
Former number 1 draft choice.
Yeah, I
Played
mean,
12 or 13 years in the league.
yeah,
Played 6 for the Pats, 1 for Green Bay, and then 6 for the Cowboys.
yeah. And he's the reason Bill Parcells left.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
He really is.
That's
It wasn't
right.
Necessarily because of Terry Glenn, but the whole Terry
Because
Glenn process.
Yeah, the whole high heels
Yes,
and all of that.
Well, and Bill getting overruled.
Yep,
Wasn't
that's
allowed
right. By Kraft's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that got Parcells out of town.
And was it Bobby Greer?
Yeah, Bobby Greer was the personnel director. Yeah,
Yeah. And
Hey,
Bob Kraft wanted Terry Glenn.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos to Wade Phillips, 40 years coaching in the National Football League.
Wow, it's a long time.
And he still knows what he's doing
He does.
defensively.
The whole Phillips family
Yep.
is an institution in coaching,
Yep.
really. Back to his father.
Yeah, Bum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miami was flagged for 17 penalties Sunday.
Were they really?
Yeah. They waived linebacker Ray Malaga.
You know, going back to Miami for 1 second.
Yeah,
I heard driving in here that next week's game the Patriots are playing in Foxborough against Miami. It was opening with the Patriots a 16.5-point favorite.
17 is what I heard. Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That's a lot of points.
they flagged 17 times on Sunday, and Ray
Yeah.
Malaga, who was the starting linebacker,
Yeah.
they waived him. He was arrested for battery
Oh, jeez.
at a
They are a
bar
mess.
over the amount of the bar tab.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Miami?
Yep. And that was that. And Jay Cutler has another concussion.
Does he?
Yep. And Adam Gase had better get something working down there soon.
Yeah.
Because that management team down there isn't going to watch
They're not
this
gonna-
go on a lot.
they're not gonna have
I mean, they gave
patience.
him a big contract and they've done nothing.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they lost their quarterback, but
Yeah, but you know, even so, the direction of that franchise, you know, is Ryan Tannehill really? I mean, they've committed him. They've signed him, right?
he has all the potential in the world to be a very good quarterback. Not a great quarterback,
Yeah.
but a very good quarterback. He's mobile.
Yeah.
He's got a strong arm.
Yeah.
But you know what? How can you have a team that flagged for 17 penalties?
Right.
I mean, just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bad.
But I got another ridiculous situation for you. What is going on with Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah, he's not playing.
They
huh?
may not play him at all this year. They want him to be totally immersed in the playbook. So to me, all right, that means they're playing to lose. They want that number 1 and number 2 draft choice. They don't want Garoppolo to go in there and win a couple of games.
Yeah.
And
Well, I guess that's good for us. We got the second-round pick.
Yeah, but, here's the thing, though. I mean, Shanahan and Lynch should be investigated for this. I mean, if they're playing to lose, I mean, isn't this one of the things that they raised hell about?
Well, yeah, but they can sit there and say that we're really, we're playing long-term. We're not playing to lose. We're playing long-term. We're making an investment in this kid as our franchise quarterback. We're going to re-sign him eventually when we need to.
When we need to, yeah.
And, we don't want to get him hurt. He doesn't know our playbook. He doesn't know our players. We stink. We don't want to get the kid killed.
Yeah.
We're looking long-term here.
Kyle Shanahan
and how
said,
can the league argue with
Shanahan
that?
said, I don't know when he'll be ready to go in.
Yeah.
But
So it's surprising, certainly. And
but the rumor has it.
And Jimmy G must want to play.
Yeah. He must be pulling his hair out.
Yeah.
I finally get a chance to play and I'm not playing.
Right.
This is, it's hard for me to fathom that Shanahan supposedly is worried about Garoppolo getting hurt because he wants to move him for a number one next year.
Yeah.
He has this idea that teams will come to their senses and say, well, yeah, Garoppolo is perfect. He's got plenty of shelf life left. Let's grab him. We'll arrange something and get,
Yeah, you got to sign him, though.
That's it. That's it.
You either got to franchise him or sign him.
Boy, I'm telling you. I don't understand that.
So are they trying to hold his value down so that they can get him signed for cheaper money?
Maybe that's it. Maybe they're playing a cagey game that way.
But if you're his agent,
oh, man.
don't you just go to market? Because if he's out there and it costs you nothing but money to sign him,
he'll lower the price. He'll go shop someplace else.
Yeah.
The Browns will look better.
He's not going to get, and he won't get $25 million a year.
No.
But he'll get
17, 16.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is very smart.
Yes, he is.
And most of the other teams are very stupid.
It would appear so.
Need proof? Look at the Cleveland Browns. Look at Jerry Jones. Look at Roger Goodell expecting $50 million.
And a private jet.
But especially look at the Dolphins, wasting $10 million on Jay Cutler and setting their team back another year. Look at the NFL suspension rationale. Look at their criminal behavior in the concussion arena. Look at Denver and John Elway's handling of the quarterback situation. Look at Rob Ryan masquerading as a football coach. Look at the NFL negotiating with Goodell for $50 million. But the thing that I was amazed at was John Elway being praised by Chris Collingsworth and Al Michaels. They had a picture of him up there, and they were saying, great quarterback, Hall of Fame member, and now a great general manager. Would you explain to me the quarterback mess up there?
Yeah.
And generally, the whole team has ratcheted down.
Yeah.
This is a great general manager. I mean, these guys are paid big money, Collingsworth and Michaels.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the top pairing in the NFL, football. Yeah. And they're spewing out crap like that?
Yeah, Denver has collapsed.
They have.
Their defense they look like a team that's given up.
Right, yeah.
What's his name? The defensive player of the year there.
Von Miller.
Von Miller. When we played them 2 weeks ago, he was on the field all day. You never heard his name called?
No. They were chipping him at the line of scrimmage, and then the tackle was waiting for him.
But, if you're a Denver Broncos fan, you got to be very disappointed.
Oh, man.
And,
big time.
they're going to need
league.
to, I think the test for Elway is going to be this offseason. He needs a quarterback.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're John Elway,
Jimmy Garoppolo?
What about Eli Manning?
Well, yeah.
I mean, Eli, he's starting to get up there, but
34
if you want him for 2 or 3 years,
yeah,
and to try to win with this defense you supposedly have, and you know they've got weapons on offense except for the quarterback. They got a couple of good receivers. They've got like 3 running backs who are all NFL running backs. So you wonder. I think it's this coming off season. I think is going to be the test for Elway because he can't go into next year with Brock Osweiler.
Did you watch the New York Giants in the Kansas City Chiefs game?
I was keeping track of it. I didn't really watch too much of it.
I'm sitting there, and
I was glad I did when I saw the score.
To myself, what am I doing watching this?
Yeah.
If I hadn't picked Kansas City, I wouldn't have been watching the game. And they were horrible.
Yeah, they were. Kansas City has absolutely collapsed.
Yeah. And I wonder about whether those guys are quitting or not. Something's wrong there.
I'm not ready to set sail on Kansas City yet. You know, I mean, they got off to a great start.
Yep.
They've obviously had a dip. They've lost 4 out of 5 games, right? But there's still 6 games left. Are they going to come up? I mean, they could. There's plenty of time for them to get momentum back and come out of the dip into a strong postseason. So I wouldn't give up on them, but they're perplexing that they all of a sudden they went from being dominant to stinking.
When you lose to the Giants, it's perplexing, all right.
No touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's hard to figure after they ripped us apart on opening night.
How transparent of the National Football League to continue to trot out players in their ads praising the military personnel and saying thanks to these guys that wear the uniform. Thanks, buddy. You've done a great job. I mean, how transparent is that?
And how forced does it seem? Yeah.
Exactly. Marshawn Lynch sits during the American national anthem and stands up for the Mexican national anthem.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be kidding me.
Donald Trump took notice.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donald, you know what? He'd be more fun to go have a few beers with than anybody I can think of. But he doesn't need a few beers.
No, he doesn't even drink. But you could drink while you were being entertained.
I mean, man to man.
Yeah.
Man, he tells it like it is.
Yes, he does.
And then he goes on TV and tells them the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he don't mess around. I wish he'd tune it down a little bit.
He needs to filter it a little more.
Yeah. Ezekiel Elliott dropped his appeal.
Yeah. Cowboys are in trouble. They got their butts kicked last night.
Oh, they got murdered.
Now he's out for 6 weeks.
Yep.
I still think they would have been better just having him take that at the beginning of the year.
Bang. And come back.
Momentum coming back.
Yeah.
You know, when
the
rest of your team's healthy.
And Jerry Jones is acting like a complete moron.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Did he play a few years without a helmet or?
He's being Jerry Jones.
Yeah, he sure is. Ben Roethlisberger, I thought, came out and said, get rid of Thursday games.
Yeah.
He said, the guys can't stand it. Their bodies haven't healed from Sunday's game, and you're putting them back out there again.
Right.
This is when guys get hurt.
Right.
They're making so much money, though, from that contract.
Yeah.
They're going to keep it.
You know, I'm still not convinced there's not a way to manage it better with all the bye weeks and everything else that...
What about Tuesday night game rather than a Thursday night game? I mean...
That would be the final game of the previous week? Yeah. I don't know. I think you'd start to lose interest at that point.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But
yeah. I think you could work it better. Like, you know, the Cowboys should have been off yesterday, and then they're playing Thanksgiving, and then they're also playing the following Thursday, so they're getting a full week in between there.
Yeah.
So, you know, it would almost seem like teams could play on Thursday after their bye week.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
if they were able to get the computer to,
they'd end up with 2 long weeks instead of 1 really long 2-week period, right?
There's got to be some way to accommodate that. It's interesting that Roethlisberger came out and really blasted the league for it.
You know, I've never been a big fan of Thursday Night Football, but they've actually had a few good games this year.
They have, yeah.
You know, I mean, they've given us a better games.
That great social critic, Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, yeah.
He likes the young Ball kid.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball. But he doesn't like LeVar, the dad.
Okay, I'm in agreement with him so far.
So the article says, as noted philosopher Snoop Dogg put it in a recent appearance on TNT, I think his father put him in the lion's den with some pork chop drawers on.
Yeah.
He's not exactly wowing anybody with Zach so far.
Not yet, but I think
he's a rookie. He's a child.
I think he's going to be a really good player.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an impossible situation for him.
Well, how about his brother? He was in an impossible situation too.
Yeah.
What went on in their minds? Those three
Idiots. Yeah.
How stupid can you be?
Yeah.
NBC Sports suspends Michael Felger.
Yeah.
For his outrage over Roy Halladay. Can you make any sense out of that at all?
No, not really. You know, I think I was in my car. I think I heard it when he did it. And, you know, my reaction was, you know, kind of there he goes again. That's who Felger is, you know. And I understand he was a little crass about it, right? I understand the point he was making, though. What is this guy doing out there, doing these stunt dives?
Okay, you know, now that's...
With 2 young children and a wife. He's 40 years old. And
I agree with that.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Right.
But the other side of Halladay, there was an excellent piece written, not in this one, but in the next one, in that it really spelled out what a decent guy this guy is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he's works charities. He works with kids.
Yeah.
And to be maligned like that, I think was really stupid of Felger.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But you know, now,
even though I think he was raising
a valid point. But where were the people? I was the only one back in 1986 when Krista McAuliffe was killed in the rocket ship.
Yeah.
And she had either 4 or 5 kids at home.
Right, right.
So where was the outrage there?
There was none.
There was none.
Right.
That's right. So she wanted to be the first woman astronaut in space.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 orphans later, I mean, I was outraged. I said, how could anybody be that selfish, especially a mother?
Yeah.
But wasn't politically correct back then.
So you were Felger before Felger.
Yeah, but I didn't really have a soapbox to get on and rave.
Yeah.
But I was raving, I can tell you that. The Farmhouse King.
The Farmhouse King.
The Farmhouse King is a new sandwich at Burger King.
Oh, really?
And I'm wondering if you've gone to have one yet.
I have not. It
is.
What is it composed of?
A double Whopper with cheese.
Oh, my.
Onion strings, bacon, and some special barbecue sauce. And it's $8.89.
Holy mackerel.
Fast food cheap, it's not.
Yeah. A double
Whopper with cheese, bacon, onion strings, and some crazy barbecue sauce.
Wow. I may be passing on that one for a while, Bill.
I'll tell you, I bet you.
Let me know how it is.
I'll bet you could feel your arteries hardening while you ate it. But now at $8.89, I don't think I'll pull in for them. Now,
I'd probably go to Subway for that.
Yeah, you like Subway?
It's okay. I like it because the bread's fresh.
Yeah, except a couple of times I've been at the local Subway and the bread was from the day before and it was as hard as a rock on the bottom.
Yeah, I tend to go. The one I go to is a quick turn place.
Yeah,
so,
then that's great.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations to King Philip.
Yeah,
they're in the Super Bowl. They're playing Lincoln Sudbury either on December 1st or December 2nd. And congratulations to our viewers in Millis. Millis has made Division VIII Super Bowl.
Yes, indeed.
And they're playing Hoosac Valley, wherever Hoosac Valley is.
Yeah, wherever they are, they got a pretty good football team, I guess.
Yeah, they're undefeated.
Yeah.
Congratulations to both schools and good luck to both schools.
Absolutely.
Ted, you know what? I'm going to skip my rave on Tom Yawkey. I want to talk about what they're doing to Tom Yawkey.
Yeah, we're in the last minute here, I think.
Okay. Torey Lovello, Manager of the Year.
Good for him. He deserved it.
That's
he
right.
Did a good job.
Wonder if the Red Sox had really given any consideration to Cannon Farrell and keeping Lovello.
A year earlier? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. That's a John Henry question.
Yep. Jim Rivera. Chicago White Sox outfielder, passed away.
Yeah, I remember him.
92 and 93.
Had a good run.
Yeah, one of the first guys I got in baseball cards.
Is that right?
52 tops, yeah. Bobby Dewar passed away at 99.
Yeah, God bless him.
Yeah.
He had a hell of a run.
Boy, I don't know of anybody that ever said a bad word about Bobby Dewar.
Universally loved.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ted Williams loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Dewar kind of grabbed onto the wild and frisky Williams and calmed him down.
Yeah, he was a mentor, I think, yeah.
Yep. But we'll get to Tom Yawkey next time. Are we in the last minute?
We're in the last minute.
Okay. Well, listen, folks. We've done it. We've got through all the stuff except for one story. And I'm going to lead off with
more for next time. There you go.
That's right. So, listen, folks, we're taping this Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
So, even though it won't show till after Thanksgiving, in retrospect, have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Absolutely.
We'll see you next time. Great show.
Yeah.